In episode 502, Ryan and Jose are joined by David Blair and Eric Vanderholt to talk about everything we know about Hellraiser Revival, the new video game coming out. This is the Clive Barker Podcast, where longtime fans Ryan and Jose interview guests, bring you the news, and take deep dives into Barker-related stuff. This episode is sponsored by Don Bertram's Celebrate Imagination. Don Bertram is a longtime friend of Clive and advocate of his art, but Don's unique and inspiring paintings are for sale, and over 50% of the proceeds go to the Arts and Medicine program at the Texas Children's Cancer Center. There's even a paver in Washington, D.C. representing Celebrate Imagination. We're thrilled that this worthy cause is sponsoring our podcast again this year, and we hope that you'll consider looking over his Pinterest page and commissioning a painting of your own. For commissions, Don requires no money down, and there will be no obligation on your part. You can also head over to the Etsy shop to buy one of his books, like A Chimney Sweep's Tale, Celebrate Imagination, or The Imaginaries. Follow the link in the show notes or click on the side banner and let's see what's new with Don Bertram today. On his Facebook page, you can find Fawns 1 and Fawns 2, Heart Study 1 and Heart Study 2, and Devotion 1 and Devotion 2. So I've got links to those in the show notes if you want to see what they look like. You can also take a look at his art video, Billy, Bobby, and the Bug Brothers, and his other introduction to the 35th anniversary Hellraiser screening. Let's welcome our other sponsor, Ed Martinez, and his YouTube channel. Lots of great special effects videos and Barker-related content. What's the latest from Ed? Ed and Nina have put together a new short going over the new puzzle box configuration from Hellraiser 2022. So check it out. Of course, the best way to support this podcast is through our Patreon at patreon.com/BarkerCast589. Our subscribers will get exclusive access to content not available anywhere else, like our Collector's Corner video series, rare Barker videos, and early behind-the-scenes stuff. Plus, backers in the $10 tier will also be able to choose an episode topic, and we might mail you something once in a while, depending on your location. Our supporters also get access to the exclusive channel in our Discord server. We'll be forever grateful if you consider helping us out and subscribing to our Patreon. So what's new on Patreon? A warm and special thanks to our Patreon circle of magicians, David Anderson, Eric Vanderholt, Daniel Elven, Amanda Stewart, Bradley Gartz, David Blair, Matthew Batten, and our returning sponsor, Don Bertram's Celebrate Imagination, and our new sponsor, Ed Martinez's YouTube channel. So what's new on Patreon? Well, there's, if you follow the Jericho Squad 77 D&D game that we do, there was a special behind-the-scenes sort of battle that my brother Rob and I put together to show what happened in Drovo versus the 40 Cultists. Also, coming soon, an extended chat with Peter Atkins, and I just need to take the time to edit that and get that put up. All right, well, thank you. And now on to the actual episode. All right, well, welcome. This is episode 502 of the Clive Barker Podcast, and it's a news episode. And we were just a second ago talking about how we weren't planning on doing a news episode, but this news story, I mean, we only do have podcasts once a week, and this news story, started off as kind of a rumor at the beginning of the week, and it built, and then it was being reblogged, and my Google alerts just showed like 15 stories by different bloggers and news sites and stuff, all talking about this particular story. And you probably guessed, if you don't know, the video game Hellraiser Revival. It is a horror single-player game. They originally talked about it being on PlayStation 5, but it's also Xbox One, Series X and S, and Windows. Steam.
On Steam.
Yeah,
sweet. Because I don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox, but I definitely have Steam. And this is so exciting for us Hellraiser fans, right? I mean,
finally.
I know.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into it later, but there have been all kinds of Hellraiser vaporware games.
That's right. Started with something for the Nintendo that never materialized, and then it was going to be another game for Windows on the
virtual
Doom,
hell
on the Doom engine or something. And then we had Jericho, which is not Hellraiser themed. Then we had Clive Barker's Undying, and then we had Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
I never played that game, but I know that.
And it just had Hellraiser add-on stuff. I mean, it's just like, it's like if Mortal Kombat had said like, well, now we're adding Pinhead to the, it doesn't make sense in the overall Hellraiser universe, this Dead by Daylight add-on thing.
Kind of like they do the movies. They were not Hellraiser movies, but they shoved them in there anyway just to call it a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah.
Did you guys have a chance to watch the trailer for the game?
Yes. It looks quite good.
Yeah. So cool. That's being developed by, I think it was Saber Interactive and Boss Team Games. And they're saying that this is going to be canon, that the stuff that's going to happen is canon in the Hellraiser universe, I guess, for the computer game section of the canon. But
the reason they can say that is because they asked Clive Barker to help them with the story.
That's right.
And they also got Doug Bradley to do a voice in it. So
I was wondering that because you can hear his voice in the trailer. I think So wow, that's great.
Yeah. One question that I had that nobody's answered. Well, I had two questions. When is it coming out? Which they're just saying 2025, but you've got to think that it's going to be Halloween. That's my prediction is Halloween. But so then the other question I had is who's composing the soundtrack. And so I reached out to Chris Velasco, who did the soundtrack for Jericho, and I asked him, are you doing it? And he said, nobody's asked me. He said, I would love to, and I hope that I can. And I would, so I want to put that out there. If they haven't made a decision yet, I think they should go with Chris Velasco. I mean, he got his start with Jericho pretty much in video game music. And since then, he's blown up and made scores for like really top tier games and stuff. So he would be interested because before everything, he's a huge Clive Barker fan. When we interviewed him, he had the original Pinhead painting that they put on the 20th anniversary edition of Hellbound Heart. Yeah.
That's very cool.
And that was in his background while he was talking to us. So he's a huge Clive Barker fan, and Clive Barker had kind of talked him into becoming a video game composer, and that's been his career ever since. So I think, it would be awesome if he could do the music for.
Christopher Young do the Hellraiser movies?
He did.
Or some.
Yeah.
Would
1
he
and
ever
2,
do it?
and then part of 3.
Yeah. The first and second movie was Chris Young. The third one was Randy Miller, I think. And it still included a few tracks from Christopher Young. But I think that at this point, when did you say the game is coming out, Ryan?
Well, they said 2025, so this year.
2025.
But they haven't said when, and I'm predicting Halloween.
So if you go to HellraiserRevival.com, you can see already the different editions that they're going to release for the game. Okay. And it looks like the signed by Clive Barker $250 one is already sold out.
I know. Wow. Before we can even come out here and talk about it.
I know. There's a lot of good stuff coming in with these games, right? I mean, you got like a new Hellraiser box that's going to ship with a bundle of the game. It's a different box. It's not the box we are used to seeing in the movies, right? They made a new box for this game.
The design looks a little bit like the 2022 Hellraiser, but
a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not it either.
Yeah. I like the statue they have, the LED statue. I want that.
I know. It's like a torture pillar. And the box lights up. The characters are Aiden. I think that's the one who we're going to play. We're going to play the protagonist called Aiden. And he ventures into the labyrinth to rescue his girlfriend, Sunny, after she solves what's called the Genesis configuration puzzle box. That's what we see them in the trailer. The trailer is pretty cool too.
I don't know. I don't know if because I think from what I'm reading, it seems like the Genesis configuration is like an opposite of the puzzle box that, like, she used a normal one that got her into hell, and he's got some kind of the Genesis configuration is some kind of box that has magical powers that he can use to fight back. Like the one in, like the configuration that they were working on in Hellraiser 4.
The Elysium configuration.
Configuration.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. So this is what we use as a weapon, the Genesis configuration.
That's what I think. It's, it's all vague, but
because we see scenes where you're fighting with monsters, and there's a scene where someone is fighting a monster and they have a box in their hand, and the box puts out chains and it cuts the monster's head off. So it looks like that's what we're going to be using.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So and they got all the cool Cenobites are here. You got the female Cenobite Deep Throat. You got Pinhead. You got Chatterer. He's going to be showing up, walking around, chasing
Butterball.
The Butterball as well. It's like so cool. This is like, I've never seen like such a good adaptation of Hellraiser with adult themes. The teaser trailer has like the protagonists like having sex, and they're like doing this kind of ritual, and they summon the Cenobites. You see the wall breaking apart, and Pinhead walks in, and you got chains chaining people. This is what I'm here for, baby. This is what I love.
I know.
It looks so good.
Finally.
I know.
Finally,
right? We're going to get a good Hellraiser game, I hope. And Saber, I mean, they started out with doing Halo games, if I recall correctly. I think they did Halo games, and then they did some other stuff. And then what else did they do?
Well, and when it was originally a rumor in Saber Internationals, and people weren't excited about it. Everybody was thinking it was going to be some kind of multiplayer thing like Dead by Daylight, where the game sort of dies once people move on to another game.
Right.
Once the trailer came out, it seems like the public opinion turned, that now everybody's just more excited about it than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Saber Interactive is also the company that now owns 3D Realms and Slipgate Ironworks and a bunch of other companies that do first-person shooter games and stuff like that. So, but yeah, Clive Barker is, like you said, he's been involved with this. They kept this as a well-kept secret because I hadn't heard any. You mentioned a rumor, but this is just coming out now.
Yeah, but the rumor just started like a week ago. It's really sudden. All of a sudden, the game seems like almost done.
It's all over my Facebook pages now, and my Twitter too. It's I'm seeing lots and lots of stuff about it. Yes,
and I've been following it since it started out as a rumor on Reddit, and now people are sending it to me in my inbox. And they're like, "Hey, do you know about this?" It's like. Yes.
And all the stuff they're bundling with the game is just crazy. Like we mentioned the Genesis configuration, but you can also pick to have the bundle with the original Hellraiser Lament box. You got a little box that comes in a pedestal, which has like all the 4 Cenobites on either side of the pedestal, like a soul pillar or something, like from Hellraiser 3. And then the box is on the top and it's LED lit. You got the art. I know. You got the art of Hellraiser Revival. That's a book that's going to have all the art and how they started with the concept art. And there's going to be a digital soundtrack release. So I'm not sure if they already have the soundtrack made. If it's going to come out this year, probably.
They must.
Yeah.
That takes a long time to.
Yeah. But boy, do they add a lot of stuff.
That'll make me sad if we can't have Chris Velasco in doing the soundtrack.
They're adding enamel pins, trading cards, game poster. The $250 edition that was signed by Clive had the print of the Pinhead print. He's looking up at the sky and behind him is the labyrinth. That would be the print that would be signed by Clive Barker. There's still a bundle that's not signed, but has pretty much all the stuff that the 251 did. I'm as happy as a clam right now. Cause
I wish list it. I wish list it from streams. As soon as it comes out, I'm getting it and playing it.
Oh man.
Yeah. And the fact that they're going to have Doug Bradley to reprise his voice, it's just it's a cherry on top of the cake.
Yes.
So, Jose, you forgot to mention the Nightbreed games.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So, Ryan, I think right now you must be one of the only people I know who's played pretty much every single Clive Barker property game.
Yeah.
Because you've played the Nightbreed games, you played Jericho, you played Undying. Did you play Dead by
well, you know what? So I bought it, and I bought the add-on Hellraiser add-on stuff, but I didn't like the game, and I never got far enough to where I could actually introduce the Hellraiser characters. Yeah. And so it was kind of a waste of money for me. I mean, I know Rob Reidenauer had talked to me about getting it, and I thought, okay, well, I'll play it with him. And it just didn't work out that way.
Yeah. I get it. I think that came out in 2021, and then they announced that they were going to remove the Pinhead stuff or the Hellraiser themed stuff. September of April of 2025.
So
that's when they took
buy
it down
anymore.
But if you had it, you could still keep it. So.
Yeah. Well, and the premise of that game is like you got a bunch of people trapped in somewhere like a junkyard or something like that, and there's a serial killer after them. And so with all of these different add-on stuff, they just swap out who the serial killer is. And so instead of Michael Myers or somebody, it'll be now it's Pinhead or Chatterer. Those were the two that they had in that game. And so if you got to accomplish all these tasks to get the gate open, like turning on a generator and I don't know, bunch of different stuff. And you're in a group because it's a multiplayer game. And so, if he kills off one person, then it makes it harder because there's only 3 people left. But if you can get the gate open, you win. Or if you're playing the serial killer, if you kill everybody, you win. And when they kill somebody, they take them over to this place to sacrifice them. So they put them up, they stick them up on this wall or tree or whatever and sacrifice them to whatever the god is that, works for their, particular pantheon. So I think it was Leviathan but I don't know. I didn't get that far. I just didn't like it. It wasn't, I don't know.
Well, this one looks
of the Nightbreed game. Do you have how many different ports or versions? Because they made it for a bunch of different platforms.
Oh yeah.
That's right. I think there were 2 main games for several platforms.
Yeah, there was the Nightbreed, the interactive movie, and Nightbreed, the action game. And Nightbreed, the action game, only came out in Europe. And so most people, when they talk about the Nightbreed game, they don't realize that there were 2. So they're either talking about, if they're European, they're probably talking about the action game. And if they're from America, they're probably talking about the interactive movie, which I think the interactive movie existed in both places, but it wasn't, it wasn't as big. It wasn't as good as the other one.
One cool thing about this new game that's coming out is that you fight not just against Cenobites, but they've expanded a little bit, like to have more monsters and even cultists, right? So it says here, harness the power of the box, combine the unique hellish abilities of the Genesis configuration with an arsenal of earthly weapons to inflict bone-breaking, flesh-searing pain, or is it pleasure, upon masochistic enemies.
Yeah.
That's what it says on the website. And then they say fight against unholy enemies, take on hell's wretches, deviants, cultists, and even its most infernal priests.
Well, wow. I didn't get to answer David's question, though. You were asking like what platforms or what ports had been made of it.
Yeah, from tape.
So it was on Amiga, which is the main one that I have. I think Nightbreed, the interactive movie, was also on PC, which would have been DOS back then, and it was also on like Amstrad and Commodore 64 and what was the other one? There was that one that you had, Jose. I think it was on that also. On
a tape. I think it was for the ZX Spectrum.
Yeah, ZX Spectrum. Yeah. I think it was on tape. I think those are the platforms for it.
Yeah. I saw a video about how the different platforms, and they were showing how the look of them. And then there's a good video on like all the basically Clive Barker games, but there's a big section of, unreleased Hellraiser because everything up to this point has been unreleased. There's always been these vaporware. But there's the one famous one where they were making it based on the Wolfenstein engine, and Doom came out before they were able to finish it, and they just gave up on it. It wasn't going to work. And then the most famous one is one that Doug Bradley did a trailer for, the PC game, the Virtual Hell game.
Virtual Hell.
Yeah, they did a big, zoom in on him from hell, and it's his voice, and he did a bunch of dialogue for it, and that looked amazing. And then that one fell apart because the producer wanted to make it into a dumb Duke Nukem, toilet humor game.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it totally killed the vibe of it. And I was like, what? It's like this person intentionally sabotaged it.
Yeah.
So, lots of misses in the Hellraiser gaming sphere.
Yeah. Then that company ended up making Bible games and stuff like that. They got into making religious games, which is kind of weird because they were working on the Hellraiser game.
Yeah, the ones that did the unlicensed NES games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was
see that it was a special cartridge that actually had a mini computer in the cartridge to help
super
it play
cartridge.
NES.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's right. The super cartridge that I was going to have a chip that would give it a little more memory so you could do more stuff in the game. But so this new one, Clive Barker said that working on the first true Hellraiser game has been a venture deep into the recesses of my darkest imaginings. He goes on to say the dedication that Saber and Boss Team Games have shown is nothing short of remarkable. They've immersed themselves in the Hellraiser universe, capturing its essence, the seductive pull of suffering, the beauty within the grotesque, and forged a narrative that invites players to step beyond the threshold. I'm eager for both the curious and the damned to experience this new chapter in the Hellraiser mythology, where every moment balances on the brink of nightmare and revelation. So, wow, that's great words from the master himself. So I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be pretty amazing.
The only other news we have, and this isn't huge, but I got an email from Good Pods saying that we were the number 29 in horror on Good Pods. And so I don't know by what metric they measure podcasts.
We're 29. We're
29 in horror. We were number 80 of 100 of the top 100 in overall podcasts, and I think number 69 and something like movie review, I think it was. Or no, 80 in movie review, 69 overall. I don't know, I forget. It was kind of neat to see that. I don't know if I'm always suspicious of stuff like this, back when when somebody tells you when I was a realtor and somebody would say, hey, you know what, you won an award, you just have to pay this much money to get your award published in our magazine, and so I'm a little suspicious, but I don't know. I'll have to, if people use Good Pods or figure out what podcast they want to listen to by looking at the Good Pods ranking, let us know. Maybe I don't know much about it other than they emailed me.
I mean, I just want to bring up that this is something that I think we might have mentioned before, but I just remembered again. There's also an adaptation in the works to make the Thief of Always movie by the Babadook director, Jennifer Kent. So I don't think we've talked about that a lot, but I just wanted to put that out there. That's still in the advanced stages of development, announced last year. So,
and fingers crossed, because that has not had the best of luck.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And the last time we talked about it with Bernard Rose, on our podcast, and he said that the reason that it's so difficult is because everyone that's attempted to make a movie has had to pay for the rights of everyone previously. And so now it's gotten so expensive to make that nobody wanted to do it. But okay. I don't know. Maybe movies are just so expensive now that's a nominal cost. I have no idea.
Or maybe they finally bought some of the right holders outright. They realize it's never going to be made. They can, start buying people out because they know they're never going to get anything unless they, just sell. So
right.
Well, the rights issues are just insane on his work, especially. Thanks to the Weinsteins,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's one thing with bringing it back around to video games. When you see video games getting remade or relicensed for newer consoles and stuff, it almost never happens with licensed games. So the fact that this new Hellraiser game is going to have Clive Barker's name across the top of it means that in 10 or 20 years, you probably won't be able to get it again because, whoever is trying to re-release it isn't going to want to pay Clive Barker a second time. Or
his estate or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's good to get it now.
Yeah, of course. One cool thing I forgot to bring up to the discussion was that it looks like this Hellraiser game that's coming out is also going to be, we're going to be exploring the labyrinth itself. So I'm guessing we're going to be like going through a lot of tunnels and meeting enemies and stuff. So that's something that I'm excited because I saw that shot in the trailer where we're walking up some stairs and we see Leviathan like floating in the middle of the labyrinth. And I was like, this is all I ever wanted when I was a young teenager.
Oh my gosh.
Hellraiser fan. Like, wow.
So then if this takes place probably after Hellraiser 1 and 2, I guess. right? Maybe I wonder if Chatterer is going to be the Chatterer 2 with the eyes. You know,
he looked like the original one in the trailer, but I don't know if he's going to change during the game. So that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I think probably fans would prefer the Chatterer 1, you know, but...
I wonder if the Labyrinth is going to be like a bit of an open world thing that you can take several different routes or something, or if it's going to be more linear. Nice. But that would be nice,
Be more of an open world concept.
Yeah, doing quests and stuff and
little side things you can find, you know.
Yeah, well, this will give us stuff to do for the podcast for a long time, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we should probably plan a playthrough. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now that we got all the technology that it's easier to stream nowadays, we just have to like play the game and put a few things on.
I'm afraid I first have to buy a new PC. I think mine's too old to run it.
Oh no.
That's a good point. I wonder if there's a minimum specs for that game. Let me see. Are there
somewhere by now?
Yeah. To play.
I don't know because they don't even have a release date, so I don't imagine that they have the minimum specs for it yet.
Yeah, I don't think they announced anything like that yet. But I wonder what engine they're going to be doing this on. Huh.
Yeah.
But that would be great, playing this game in 4K and like.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be terrific. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll have to race each other to see who can get all the, you know, Steam trophies or Xbox or PlayStation trophies first.
All the medals and
get the achievement, killed 20 enemies with the chains.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure there'll be stuff like that.
Yeah,
man, this is exciting. I'm glad that this is coming out, and I'm also happy to see when I went to their website at the bottom with the copyright, it says copyright all rights reserved. LLC by Clive Barker and Park Avenue Entertainment LLC, all rights reserved. So it's gone back to Clive. So it's nice to see the copyright with Clive's name on the Hellraiser.
Is Park Avenue the one that's owned by Larry Coupin from Hellraiser 3?
Probably. I'm not sure.
I think that sounds familiar.
Yeah, that sounds familiar from New York. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what kind of like expansions they're going to do to the lore with this game. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to subscribe so I can stay abreast of the news for the Hellraiser Revival. Huh.
Yeah,
if it's popular enough.
What editions are you guys going to buy? I mean, I guess if you're getting it on Steam, you're probably buying just a digital download.
Yeah, I'm just getting the digital download now. I can't afford all the other add-ons right now.
Either.
I'm going to get PlayStation 5, and I'm going to get the normal one that just looks like a PlayStation 5 game because, you know, I can't fit all that stuff on my shelf with the video games. I mean, I think it looks really cool, and having statues and posters and all that. I just, you know, there's something about that to me that I want to have all the stuff that came with it together, and I can't put it on a video game shelf like that.
And one thing that I don't think we mentioned yet is this game is going to be single player. I don't think there's any sort of multiplayer included in this game.
Well, and that'll make it evergreen, right? It'll, you know, it's not going to just die because there's nobody playing and they shut the servers down and stuff.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Well.
I wonder if it gets popular enough, will it do download content, you know, new content, DLC?
Yeah, like DLC.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, and we'll see if we can get through the game before that happens, you know.
I just wish list it, and I just subscribe to their mailing list, and I can't wait to talk more. I'm sure we'll be talking more in the next episodes as we proceed.
I hope it comes out before Halloween. You know, I hope it comes out sooner so we can talk about it more this year.
I'm thinking about buying the $129.99 edition if I can. Yeah. That's the one that comes with the game and one of the boxes.
Yeah.
And maybe a book. Yeah. I need to look at that.
So if you're buying a Steam PC game and you're getting a physical edition, what does it come with for the actual game?
I think just a code.
Yeah.
Inside the box. That's what they do now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't come with the game in the actual disc, but you put the whatever code that comes in the box and then you download it onto your Steam installation, I think.
Yeah. Switch 2 games are now, you have to be careful which ones you buy because some of them just come with a little like key, a magnetic key where you like touch it to the console and then it initiates the internet download. It's like, what'd you even buy that for then? If that's what you get,
I know, right?
Yeah.
Physical media really has gone the way of the dinosaur.
Yeah. I'm fighting it. I'm going to keep fighting it.
I don't like the idea of my games being owned by somebody else who can just take them if they want.
Yeah, and same with movies too. Yeah, and music.
There was an initiative. There's an initiative going on right now on the internet about stop killing games, created by several fan inspired movements, and they've got petitions going on trying to make sure that companies stop selling games without telling us when they're gonna, reach end of life, and then when the servers get taken down, you can't play the game anymore, even though you paid for it once. Yeah. It has a little bit to do with that idea of games as a service or games as something that you can buy and keep.
Right.
So it's a little complicated in terms of legislation.
And people like Microsoft came out with the Xbox, that Xbox service where you just subscribe like cable and you just get, all these games that you don't know which ones are going to be in there at any given time. And Apple has that too. They call it Apple Arcade. It's maybe not as successful. I don't know. Lots of people have iPhones. What's that? PlayStation kind of does too. Yeah. PlayStation Plus, and there's different versions of PlayStation Plus. And I'm subscribing to all of them, and it's costing me a lot of money.
Yeah, Ubisoft has something as well. You can buy the game on their platform, or you can get, Ubisoft Connect is the platform. They make the Assassin's Creed games, and
they may not be around much longer the way they're going.
No.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things about this game that I was looking into is to see what kind of engine this is going to be on, and I think because of what I was seeing the other games that Saber Interactive has done recently, I think it might be on the Unreal Engine 4 for the Hellraiser game.
I think I heard that too.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good looking. I mean, have you guys looked at that Oblivion remake that came out from the Elder Scrolls on the Unreal Engine? That looks amazing. That was pretty good. It wasn't done by Saber, but it was in the Unreal Engine. So it's got a lot of great visuals and effects on the Unreal Engine. So I'm looking forward to that Hellraiser game. I guess that's all we know about it for now.
Yeah.
We just had a birthday party for my son, for Joel. He's going to turn 14 on August 3rd. But we did, because we're going to be going on vacation. So we wanted a birthday party with his friends now. But anyway, he's working on a video game in the Unity engine. And it's a horror game where you're in the McDonald's play place and you're stuck there and the McDonald's characters come after you and stuff.
Oh, like a Five Nights at Freddy's kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just amazed, because when I was a kid, I was writing I was his age. A friend of mine and I were writing a basic game, a game in GW Basic that was a text adventure that had some like basic graphics on it sometimes. Like I drew a spider web on the screen and you were attacked by a spider and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that I'm excited about, I just can't believe how coding is becoming more ubiquitous, or I guess more.
Yeah. The other day I was testing out, and I know some people don't like AI, but I was testing out ChatGPT in the sense that can I use it to create an app? And you can. It'll actually, like, you ask it to create a calendar app and it'll actually create it for you. Create a little window. You can preview the app, running the code. And then it teaches you how to put that code on GitHub and, make sure that you can compile it into an app, and then explain to me how I could get the app on my phone. And I was like, wow, we should probably pursue this a little bit. See if we can create an app for a podcast or something like that. That probably wouldn't be too complicated.
It's called vibe coding, right? If you're coding using AI. Well, and
is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And you can also have AI check over your code. If you're like, hey, something's broken and I don't know, and I can't figure out what's causing this weird behavior to happen, you can ask it and it'll help you figure it out.
I
just, like everything else, it can be confidently wrong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, David?
I work with programmers, and they're starting to use more Copilot, ChatGPT, other AI tools to start programming.
Yeah.
So they don't have to write all the code, and they can, it can come out quicker. But then there's a lot of testing involved to fix the problems right now. But it's just getting smarter. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I like when AI is being used as a tool and not to create something, but like to assist in creating something without making the human skills like redundant.
Right.
Because I guess in the future, I think it was a guy from NVIDIA, Huang, the CEO, that was saying something about that programming in the future is going to mostly be AI powered, but there's still going to be need for people who can go into the program and understand what the coding is about. So, but that AI is definitely becoming a tool for coding that's being used a lot, at least recently.
Well, yeah, and human elements are really important. I was just listening to another podcast about Apple, and there was one of the employees there was talking about how much code time he saves by eliminating code, right? By making a smarter code that's shorter. And then they were talking about how they were paying him by how many lines of code, and he's like, "You should pay me for how many lines of code I don't have to write."
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Speaking of Clive Barker in video games, for our Patreon members, I have a video about my Jericho collection. So if anybody wants to check that out, you can join our Patreon. I thought I'll put a little plug in there for that. And actually, I think that's not Patreon exclusive anymore, so anybody could watch that. I take that back. Coming next, Book Club of Blood, Jacqueline Ess, Her Will and Testament. Might want to read it, and Lord of Illusions in 4K. We'll be going over that probably as soon as I get back from my vacation.
I just did a rewatch of that in 4K.
Yeah.
It looks quite good.
Oh, you did?
Me too.
Holds up quite well.
I haven't done it yet, and I actually ended up with 2 copies by accident.
I did it a couple of days ago. I was like, now that I got a 75-inch TV, I was like, well, I bought my Lord of Illusions 4K, and I was like, let's watch it. So I watched it like on Thursday night, I think. And it was like, I was noticing things in the movie that I had never noticed before.
Good. Yeah.
So immersive. I was sitting in front of a 4K screen like this.
My biggest issue with 4K is that sometimes I can't, some editions, I cannot tell the difference between HD and UHD.
Or it's worse, for some reason. They make it cheaply just to kick it out, and so the color correction's off, and it just looks janky. Yeah. But no, this was a good clean transfer, and it looked really worth it. It's actually 4K
I bought
worth
this, and I thought this would be really, I'm like, cool, on 4K, right?
Mm-hmm.
Terminator 2. And this is the worst edition of any movie I've ever seen. It doesn't even have all the special edition stuff that's on my Laserdisc.
They used AI
the added scenes and stuff.
Yeah, they use AI to denoise it and everything, and like the characters' faces are weird in the background. It's terrible. I don't know what James Cameron was thinking when he signed up on that, but that was terrible.
Yeah. I don't want it anymore. I would rather watch my Laserdisc than that one.
That's a bad use of AI when they try to upscale everything to 4K.
Yeah.
Instead of actually using the proper negatives and, I think the Lord of Illusions actually, I think that's one of the selling points. So they actually went back to the regular prints and used them.
Yeah. Well, and it was just a few years ago that they upscaled it to HD, or not upscaled, that they encoded it into HD, and so they probably had all that readily available, so they could do it again in 4K.
Yeah.
Shout Factory.
I was checking which one I have to shout.
Oh Factory. Yeah. That's it. Well, that's a great addition. That's really good, and that was my worry, is that this new one is not going to be very different from the old one.
Am I crazy, or there used to be in the DVD of Lord of Illusions the option to play with the isolated score with no dialogue? Because I think there used to be that option in one of the DVDs, didn't there?
4K one has this now too, I saw.
Yeah.
You can take out all the dialogue and just have just the music score throughout the whole thing.
We can do that in the new 4K version, because I was looking for that. I couldn't see how to do that, but that was, I remember I used to have a DVD that had that option. So that gives it a completely different feel when you're just looking at the movie with the score and no dialogue.
I never done that. I don't know if I didn't know that it was there, or I just wasn't, I just love the dialogue so much and Nix's lines that I didn't want to do it.
But we'll definitely talk about that release in an upcoming episode.
Yeah.
And the new extras, like Simon Boswell was interviewed about composing the soundtrack for Lord of Illusions.
Nice.
So that's good. Yeah.
And then because a listener had mentioned that we should talk about the box of blood, right? Specifically, that got me thinking maybe we should do an episode about all the different Clive Barker trading cards that are out there. And so we've got
that's a lot.
And Joe Manco was trying to set us up on an interview with a cast member from Hellraiser 2022, and I've sent an email out, but we haven't heard anything back yet. So we'll see if that becomes anything.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's great. All right, and I guess that's it for news, right?
Yeah, and this podcast, having no beginning, will have no end. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you have subscribed or followed our podcast. You can find the Clive Barker Podcast wherever you find audio. Show notes for this episode, as well as news and reviews, can be found at our website at www.clivebarkercast.com. The Clive Barker Podcast, or BarkerCast, is an independent editorial podcast and blog that's not affiliated with Clive Barker or Seraphim Inc. This is a labor of love by the fans for the fans. You can chat with us on our Facebook BarkerCast listeners group, our Facebook page, Reddit, Blue Sky, or our Discord server. Have you already bought our book? The BarkerCast Interviews Occupy Midian, available in Amazon hardcover, Kindle, and Apple Books. Join our Patreon and become a patron to get access to exclusive stuff, pick an episode topic, or maybe join in the discussion. You can also buy a t-shirt in our TeePublic store. Just go to tpublic.com/stores/BarkerCast. Leave a voicemail for us on the SpeakPipe link on our blog, and we might put it in the episode. Opening and ending music generously provided by Ray Norrish.
Thanks for listening.